Hello, dear friends. My Roman cat, Princess, is hospitalized at a veterinary clinic in an attempt to save her life because she hasn't eaten for days and has become rachitic. Therefore, I am asking for help to cover her hospitalization costs through the donation button on my blog. Opinion piece. Lost Ark Found. Protected by entities. In a Middle East tunnel. It's surrounded by mosques. The CIA confirms its existence. Discovered by remote viewing. A replica was at Mar-A-Lago. It will open when the time is right. Graham Hancock thinks it's a capacitor. Physicists spend time inside the diamond. Let's start. A declassified Central Intelligence Agency document has confirmed through remote viewing or extrasensory perceptions suggest the existence of what appears to be the sacred chest known as the Ark of the Covenant, which, according to the Bible, contained the 2 stone tablets of the 10 Commandments. Agency files claim the sacred chest is protected by entities with unknown powers. Although the document has been declassified since August 2000, it's not only now being circulated on social media and has gained widespread attention, according to the New York Post. This document is part of Project Sunstrike, a classified agency initiative that sought to develop remote viewing as a possible intelligence tool during the Cold War. According to the report, the Ark is a container made of wood, gold and silver, decorated with seraphim and hidden somewhere underground in the Middle East. The document describes a remote viewing session conducted on December 5, 1988, in which the remote observer managed to perceive the object without knowing its identity. The observer indicated that the Ark is protected by entities with unknown power and can only be opened by authorized individuals when the time is right. According to the records, in a remote viewing session conducted on December 5, 1988, a remote observer identified as number 32 was tasked with identifying an object, which was later described as the Ark of the Covenant. The document also states that the chest is protected by entities with unknown power. In his description, the observer describes the object as hidden, likely buried, somewhere in the Middle East, with surrounding buildings indicating the presence of mosques. The target is a container. This container has another container inside. The target is made of wood, gold and silver, similar in shape to a coffin, and decorated with seraphim, the fire wreaths. It then states that the chest's purpose is to unite people. It has something to do with ceremony, memory, homage, and resurrection. There is an aspect of spirituality, information, lessons, and historical knowledge far beyond what we know now. Furthermore, the observer asserted that the object is protected by entities and can only be opened by those authorized to do so, adding, "This container cannot be opened until the time is deemed right. Once the time is right to open it, the mechanics of the locking system will become quite simple." The text warns that those who attempt to open the container by force will be destroyed by the protectors through the use of an unknown power to us. Replica at Mar-A-Lago. A perfect replica of the Ark of the Covenant remained at Mar-A-Lago for 8 months, as revealed by Insight to Insight on February 6, 2025. A rough estimate places its arrival around May 2023 and its departure in January 2024. Its location on display is not specified, but FBI photos from the August 2022 raid on Mar-A-Lago show classified documents mixed with random memorabilia, suggesting a cluttered property where oddities like this could fit. Reports from outlets such as American Media Group and publications on X claim it is made of genuine 23.75 karat gold, 3 tons of Egyptian acacia wood, and built over 3.5 years by 17 volunteers from various countries. The chief architect described it as an exhaustive project, suggesting high-quality craftsmanship. In 2019, Donald Trump agreed to loan sacred artifacts from Israel for display in the White House, but they were discovered at his Mar-A-Lago residence in Florida. Among these artifacts was a replica of the Ark of the Covenant made in the US, following the discovery of the artifacts. The specifications of the Torah. The replica of the Ark was unveiled during a private dinner at Mar-A-Lago, focusing on themes of spiritual warfare and Judaism. In October 2024, the replica of the Ark of the Covenant was brought to Israel. Its arrival was greeted with great pomp at the King David Hotel in Jerusalem, at an event attended by politicians, activists, military personnel, and members of the Knesset. It housed a Holocaust surviving Torah scroll from Thessaloniki, Greece. Prior to that, it was housed in Shiloh, an ancient site of the tabernacle. Jake, the project supervisor, claimed it is an esoteric weapon for Israel's war, linking it to the biblical battles against the Philistines. The owner of Mar-A-Lago didn't build it, but rather housed it. No public statement from him confirms or denies its existence, only silence. Joe Rogan said on January 2, 2025, apparently, Trump has a replica of the Ark of the Covenant at Mar-A-Lago, calling it wild. Given that Donald Trump was given the title of a modern-day Constantine, I can understand the conspiracy behind this to give it more weight. I'm sure Trump has his reasons if this is confirmed. However, it would certainly cause quite a stir among those who already consider him the Antichrist. Features. The replica of the Ark of the Covenant was built with great detail and precision. It took 3.5 years to complete, involving 17 volunteers from several countries. Approximately 3 tons of Egyptian acacia wood were used. It is coated inside and out with high purity 23.75 karat gold. It weighs 40 kilos and was designed to withstand twisting forces during transport. Its construction did not use modern fasteners, but rather ancient Egyptian carpentry techniques. The presence of this replica at Mar-A-Lago has generated various theories and speculation about Trump's relationship with certain sectors of Judaism and evangelical Christianity. In October 2024, the replica was transported to Israel, where it was received with great ceremony at the King David Hotel in Jerusalem. Since then, it has been taken to several historical sites in Israel, including Shiloh and Jericho. This event is part of a broader context of political and religious connections. In 2024, Mar-A-Lago hosted the Conservative Action Policy Conference, where Trump strengthened ties with Argentine President Javier Milei and entrepreneur Elon Musk, reflecting the complex interplay between religion, politics, and power on the international stage. Purpose. The original Ark, according to Exodus, was a 132, 80 and 80 centimeters acacia wood chest, gilded with gold, with the mercy seat and cherubim. Yahweh commanded the garden of the Ten Commandments, Aaron's rod, and the jar of manna. Built around 1200 before Christ by Bezalel during the Exodus, it stood in the most holy place of the tabernacle, a conduit for divine presence. Yahweh spoke from it, struck down Uzzah for touching it, and tore down the walls of Jericho. Lost after 587 before Christ, it was a relic of power, not just a storage place. Scholars such as Graham Hancock argue that it is a capacitor of gold layers, a wooden isolator that retains energy, perhaps divine or perhaps technological. There is no cataclysmic angle in the scriptures, but this role as guardian of crucial relics hints at preservation through chaos. Some say it contains a Torah scroll, a literal record of Jewish law and history that survived the Holocaust. The biblical function of the Ark is said to have been to convey the essence of Israel through war and exile. And that's all about this item. Full-force summary. The situation is desperate without the Dragon family's help, as the Western industrial infrastructure has been destroyed and rebuilding will take years, if not decades. Instead of building the real world economy, the Western financial system has been kept afloat since 2012 using, for example, gold-plated tungsten lingots with a 1,000-fold leverage. All of this is about to collapse catastrophically. As one zero-edge commentator points out, even if all the gold they claim to have in Fort Knox were actually there, it would only cover half the interest of the debt for a year. The trigger for the collapse is likely the April 15th tax filing deadline. The Internal Revenue Service forecasts a $500 billion drop in revenue as a growing number of taxpayers decide to boycott the IRS. That would be enough to push the government on the brink of insolvency. The private sector is also in trouble. Jared Leon warns that the private equity market, now worth $8 trillion, is on the verge of collapse. In his latest analysis, he reveals hidden risks such as over-leveraged companies, unstable debt, and a cash shortage that threatens pensions, drawing parallels to the 2008 financial crisis. This time, we need to replace it with something new, financed with Dragon family money. There are signs that this is happening. For example, the US has been invited to join the 56-member Commonwealth of Nations, something Trump wrote. Sounds good to me, in quotes, on his Truth Social page. As soon as the Jubilee is celebrated, debt slavery is ended, and the government regains control of the money in cooperation with Asians. Everyone will be able to own their own home again. France is also preparing for unrest. The government is preparing to distribute a survival manual to every household to help citizens prepare for imminent threats, including an armed conflict on French soil. The newspaper Le Figaro said the timing of the manual's publication could easily suggest that the state is reacting to the unstable international situation. Breaking news. X22 report. Trump is dismantling the globalist economic system. Trump has cut funding to the Davos Forum, which promotes the 2030 agenda. the Department of Health launches a tool to search for contaminants in food. Europe considers Vance the most dangerous man as fears of a French spy in the White House grow, according to Sorjafal. Economy. Globalization is over, according to Rabobank's Michael Every. Markets are silent while gold screams. Governments are working to turn gold and silver into alternative currencies to the dollar. Curious. Physicists spend time inside the diamond, creating a brand new phase of matter. Physicists at Washington University in St. Louis have advanced the field of quantum mechanics by creating a new type of time crystal, a unique phase of matter that challenges conventional understandings of motion and time. These innovative materials challenge traditional physics by maintaining perpetual motion and could revolutionize quantum computing and precision timekeeping by providing a stable energy-saving method for measuring time and storing information. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.